refilling her water bottle. She says she's refilling her water bottle.
All right.
Okay.
So last we left off, you guys had some lore. You discovered that your adventuring group, or at least one similarly named, appears within a history book that Farhasa lent you. Although the book unfortunately does not give too much more information on that. You guys all reconvened back at the tragedy house, where Levy shared that she completed translating the book that you guys found up north, and discovered that it has a smattering of notes towards the end, describing how the winter court of the Feywild seems to have changed in Lish's absence, before the apparent freezing to death of the author. Yeah, it happens.
As you do.
Yeah. Let's see. You guys shared information with one another, shared notes. Demir had scried on Hawk's dad, but decided not to share that with anyone but Lish. That's fine. And a couple of you moved on to the kitchen to make dinner for the family, while a few of you started getting a conspiracy board set up in the library. And you guys had settled into a nice dinner together, wherein which Hawk was transformed into a corgi so that he could experience being alive.
No. So he can experience bread, which is much more important than being alive.
You'd make a good point. And with that, you guys settled in for the evening. I assume you went to your respective rooms, or did you just collapse within the dining hall, sleep under the table?
Well, somebody did get a new girdle, so.
Well, I can't speak for Levy right now because Felix will be here soon.
I think Demir and Lish probably went to their own room.
All right.
Unless Toby and Levy join them, but I'm assuming that they're going to be up late book studying.
Yeah, they're nerds. So, Hawk, as you do not sleep, you enjoy your time as a corgi for, I believe, polymorph lasts for an hour. You find that you can't think as clearly as a dog. You're not sure if it's this way for all organic beings, but you are able to run around the house and explore and smell things, and the tiefling children are delighted. Egress seems more willing to engage with you than Echo, and he He plays with you if you let him.
Natural curiosity dictates that I must figure out what that means. In other words, I am going to play fetch. Just not a phrase I thought he would say in this game, but here we go.
Egress finds actually an old piece of frayed rope in the storage room upstairs, and he ties it in a couple of knots and starts playing tug of war with you.
Hey, that's my rope. It's mine. I'm gonna take it back.
Yeah.
Pull.
But you have a great time with this. Mm-hmm. This is fantastic.
I can only imagine the awkwardness when poofs back into a machine.
Yeah.
With no mouth.
When he poofs back to a machine, you, I assume, return to your room. Egress just kind of leaves the rope in the hall. Doesn't pick up after himself.
Wow. All right. Rest mode in the room then.
All right. Demir. You got a dream sequence.
Oh boy.
Let me pull up the document. All right.
My notes.
The room itself isn't set up in the way that you might be used to, but you're in here with Lish, and it's comfortable and it's dry. But when you dream, you find yourself in a cave. It is very familiar to you, with the stalactites hanging from the ceiling, the wetness of the room itself. You are laying down on a stone in a space that may have once been a fine tiled floor, even as it is surrounded by shallow water with the bones of the unfortunate victims of the creature floating above. Rahax floats above nearby, moving as if in slow motion. You see all of your companions and Valk in various positions of attack or defense against the beholder, as the aberration has its gaze turned upon Lish. As you watch, one of the eye stalks whips around towards your husband. Its pupil contracts and a green beam shoots out. Still in slow motion, the beam moves through the air and strikes Lish square in the chest. Lish freezes, and as you watch, the space where the beam starts to turn to dust. And you want to cry out, but you can't, because you know you were unconscious for this. So while you're seeing it now, there's nothing that you can do. Viewing it as if in slow motion, you can see how the ashen grayness of Lish's chest spreads outward, taking his entire form, from the tips of his ears to the toes of his boots. It isn't long before the shape of him starts to crumble into itself and drift to the floor, like the ash that falls from the sky when you're near a forest fire. Before the ash that was once Lish reaches the ground, you feel rather than see one of the glass panels of the pocket watch break. Shockwave emanates out, slowly bringing a timeline where Lish survived barely into the present. Lish's body is still mostly ash, putting itself back together again when time stops altogether. You realize now that you yourself aren't frozen, and there's a woman standing next to you. She's beautiful, with long, silky black hair falling down her back like a waterfall. She has high cheekbones and brown eyes that look almost golden in the light of the cave, accented by shimmering eyeshadow and winged eyeliner. Her lipstick is a deep red, which looks fabulous with her dark skin, and she wears a white dress with embroidery at the end of a silvery breastplate, one that looks elvish in origin, despite the fact that she seems human. Over her shoulders, she wears a pink and blue coat that actually looks somewhat like the coat that Howls wears at the beginning of Howl's Moving Castle. And she's standing next to you, but she's looking at Lish, and she says in Navara's voice, "We could have stopped this, you know. It didn't have to be this way."
Are you in my dreams now, not just in my head?
Are your dreams not in your head?
He had the watch. He was fine.
He won't always have the watch. I know the things that you know, and you know that the watch will break if this happens again. And I'm not even necessarily just speaking of his death. If we had healed him before this, he might not have even had to use the watch.
You're right.
I don't know why you're so reluctant to believe that I just want to help you.
I'm not. I just don't trust. I don't know if he'll find another way. Aside from you. If you're worried about me throwing you away.
I was alone for quite a while. I was lost. I do not wish to be lost again. I wish to help you, and I wish to help your companions. And at this point, she is facing you, and she apparently almost reflexively reaches forward and brushes some of the hair out of your face so that she can look at you better.
Demir kind of moves back a little when she reaches towards her. Just, I know what you're trying to do.
And what is it you believe I'm trying to do?
You're trying to convince me to keep you.
I suppose. It feels like, despite the fact that I have no ill intention, it seems that your companions continuously try to convince you to be rid of me.
You and I both know that there's a cost to what you do.
When you're around as long as I have, there's always a cost of some sort, whether it's in the short term or the long term. And at this point, she starts walking away from you, and she starts walking towards the ashen body of Lish.
Demir just kind of watches her for a bit, and just like kind of holding her left hand a little bit, and just, I am aware. I seem to be very good at making deals. Sacrifices.
Sometimes sacrifices have to be made. And she holds up her her own hand where you can see the tip of her pinky is gone.
If you're trying to convince me, you don't need to.
I cannot see the future, but I know many of the things that you know. And I've seen the things that you have noticed. Something is coming, and I fear that you'll need my help for it.
I think so too. I don't plan on letting you go anytime soon. I haven't heard of many things that can stop death the way you promised to. Although don't mistake this for trust.
Of course, trust is earned.
It is.
But even with a lack of trust, we can still help each other.
Okay. What do you want?
I merely wish to be kept at your side. As I said, I was alone for quite a long time.
I'm gonna insight check that.
Insight checker.
Oh, that's not great. Hold on one sec. Let me check my insight. Oh, okay. That is a 15.
15. Okay, let me double check. She has different stats than the sword. She seems pretty forthright.
Really, just exploring the world.
At this point, you see a vision of the sword falling into darkness and landing in rubble and stone.
I suppose I can relate to that. Well, we are certainly traveling. I hope you're looking.
I am observing the same things as you.
He will protect me.
And so will I. It sounds as if we have similar goals.
I'm not the one who needs protection. But What I mean to say is, he'll do his best, but I need to do this for him too.
If he's doing his best to protect you, there is a possibility he won't do what he can to protect himself.
That's what I'm worried about. That's why you and I together.
Exactly. And with that, she puts one of her hands on Lish's body, and the ashenness disappears, and he's alive again.
Demir just kind of watches, I guess. Please don't go talking in my head, though.
I can tell that it makes you uncomfortable. I try not to, unless I have something important I wish to share.
All right. We can find our way to trust each other.
It will take time, but we will get there. And with that, the dream fades. Lish and Hawk, you two do not sleep. Well, you hang out, I guess, meditate. And as such, you guys are usually awake before everyone else in the morning. And that includes the tiefling children. Esme does exist in the house. She does not sleep, but you can't always see her. However, it's maybe a little after dawn, a little bit early for the majority of the party to be awake when you hear a knocking on the door.
It's banging at the door.
Is there a window in the office that Hawk can look down out of? Just by chance. I know that there's a porch, but...
Yeah, there are a few windows.
He's going to try and peek down without being seen.
Okay, roll a perception check.
I should have done this while everything else is happening. It's a 12 plus 3, 15.
Okay.
Knock, knock.
Yeah. So
Surprise!
you kind of peek out the window and you see Valk out there with a kobold on a leash.
Kobold and a baby Bjorn.
So
Baby child leash.
So Valk, when you arrive, you're not entirely sure that this is the right place because this house is creepy as shit. it's straight up a haunted house in the countryside here. It's like an old house in ill repair, and the porch is creaky, and like there's dead vines and bugs and stuff on it. And like you're wondering what the deal is. But it's kind of early in the morning, but you knock on the door anyway.
Just thump, thump.
I'm a paladin. I feel no fear.
Lish probably wouldn't get up to go check the door unless it continues to bang.
Hawk is already up and actively perceiving Valkyrja, so he's gonna open the window and like call down. Valkyrja? Is that you?
Yeah, took me a little longer than anticipated, but I'm here.
Oh, great. I'll be with you in just a moment. He closes the window and makes his way downstairs to open the door.
So you see Valk in all her adventuring armor glory with a rather large rucksack strewn across her back and just Kobold on child leash.
How have things been?
Did a little bit of research on what I said I would look up, then contacted you guys, got the invite, and been making my way here after picking up a couple items.
Mm-hmm. Nothing too terrible on the road then?
Nothing of note. At which point she kind of strides forwards and gives you like a one-armed pat hug thing.
Hawk returns the gesture a little late, but returns it nonetheless.
Hawk, Sniv hisses at you when
I touch
when going for the hug.
At which point Val kind of looks around and goes, excellent space for projects.
Yeah, it's a bit of a fixer-upper. We're working on it. For now, though, things are shaping up. Some things are more complete than others, of course. The previous owner of the house has been a little helpful in getting the garden sorted, at least.
Val how would she give a look since she
Maybe just like maybe like her wings.
goes,
Maybe like her wings would adjust on her face, and she'd like tilt her head a little.
Yeah.
It's like,
Just.
Oh, I didn't mention the ghost over the message, did I?
That makes sense.
She's a friendly ghost. Hasn't hurt anybody. The only reason she hasn't moved on is because she likes it in the house, I think, is the reason. I wonder if she's listening in. Esme, are you there?
There's no response.
Guess not. You'll probably find her eventually, but she's nice enough. I can't really understand a word she says, but oh, right. We did actually reserve a room for you on the top floor. Up this way.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so generous of you guys.
Well, you are considered a friend, after all.
So, you enter the foyer, and it's clear that some efforts have been made to clean the house, but like there's some peeling wallpaper and kind of a musty scent. There's curving staircase, and a cracked tile floor, and a darkened chandelier. It's a work in progress.
So I use my divine sense to see if the ghost is within 60 feet.
You get a sense that she is upstairs, on the second floor.
And so I'm being led up to the second floor, correct? Sorry, I zoned
I
out.
assume so.
Led past the second floor, yeah, but if you signal for a quick stop, Hawk will respect that.
It's just like, oh, you said the ghost names was Esme, right?
Yeah, that's her name.
She's somewhere on the second floor.
Oh. Maybe we'll stop there and see if she hears us then.
All right.
So
As you go up the stairs, there's something of a landing, and you get the Valk. You can tell that the ghost is moving. She seems to be moving from the nursery to the first guest bedroom, and she seems to just be making the rounds.
Well, I kind of do like I guess she would bow as opposed to like a curtsy, because Falk isn't like that. Does like kind of a quick gesture of respect as she's kind of moving past.
Okay.
And
yeah, when she hears you come up the stairs, she like drifts out through one of the walls, and you can see that she's an older human woman, maybe like mid to late 50s, but of course she is transparent and slightly bluish.
because incorporeal.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I do the bow.
Okay.
And say thank you for letting me into your home.
And you can't hear her, but do you have the observant feat?
No, if it's a feat, then no.
Okay. Yeah, so that means you cannot read lips, but she seems to mouth something to you.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't seem too bothered by your presence. You get the impression, actually based on her expression and posture, that she at this point kind of has a vibe of this might as well happen.
Just like another one.
These weird people moved into my house and they keep bringing weird people in. You know what? It's fine.
And I do qualify as weird.
It's fine unless they're a vampire, which are not allowed.
But you gave him an invitation.
So Esme didn't.
At which point I kind of gesture to Hawk. Shall we continue?
Yeah, right. Just this way. Up the up to the third floor, up the second flight of stairs. And see that door in the corner next to the porch? That's where we've put your room. I don't think you've put too much work into it. I should probably help you get things set up.
Yeah. So,
I'm just happy to have a room.
entering the room, it looks like there is an old bed frame in there. It does not have a mattress or any blankets. Instead, there's It's just the bed frame in there. There used to be a big spider web in there, but I think Levy cleaned it up.
Looks like I'll have to pick up a few supplies, but hey, thank you.
Yeah, like I said, it is still a bit of a fixer-upper, to say the least. We'll work on getting you a mattress eventually, of course. I would not want you to sleep on a bedroll for the foreseeable future.
It's better than what the ministry offered when I was doing my paladin training.
Hawk, you may recall that you guys did hire some people to come and fix up the house in your absence, and that will include furniture and whatnot.
Are the rest of the roses in attendance?
Yeah, but most of them are asleep right now, I think. I've always been one of the first to wake, as with Lish as well, but knowing him, he might still be a bit too groggy to get out of bed anyway.
Or hanging out with Demir.
Probably.
But yeah, so...
they should be up in a few hours, I think. Until then, feel free to wander, get yourself acquainted with the rest of the house.
Besides, Valk is here, like, very early. Someone's a nerd.
Is kind of like looking at like the wallpaper, and he reaches and grabs a piece and just starts pulling slowly, like you know when your pet is like, I know I'm not supposed to do this, I'm gonna do it slowly and see if they notice while making eye contact, kind of like that vibe, but just like,
is the wallpaper pre-peeling? Or did he just start something?
It was already peeling a little bit, but like he's being a bastard.
At which point, Turtle gets him. Thank you, Sniv, for getting started on the wallpaper project. We are going to have to tear everything down to put up fresh.
So does that mean that I can tear up whatever I want?
No.
Within there are certain projects that will benefit from your destructive assistance, such as the wallpaper needing to be replaced. And is there any other demolition work that needs to be done that Sniv can assist with?
I'm not quite sure. We might have to look around.
They said that in the city they would send construction workers and stuff.
Yeah, they will be sending workers eventually, but
Sniv is chaotic.
Something ripe yet.
Use his destructive tendencies for good.
He's only destructive because he's not pointed in the right direction.
He, with permission having been given, tears off a huge chunk and just shoves it in his mouth.
At which point Valk's just like, is that safe to eat?
I don't know.
Yeah, I can always drop a cure light wounds if he gets a tummy ache.
Does that work?
That'd be like a lesser restoration.
Well, 6 to 1, half a dozen to another. It's magic.
This heals people, right? Good enough. Cure wounds, the Advil of D&D. Right. Well, feel free to make yourself at home. We obviously won't be able to keep you here forever, I don't think, but stay as long as you'd like. Preferably, like, for a while after we leave, just to make sure that Sniv, Echo, and Egress don't tear down anything.
Echo and Egress?
Oh, right. So, while we were in the main city, some of us ran into some children who appeared much older in one of Levy's dreams, I think. I'm not entirely sure. She was insistent on helping them. Only after letting them in the house and giving them a place to stay, did I learn that there used to be an orphanage that they lived in, but funding for it got cut or something like that. So they were left on the streets to
extremely
fend.
unfortunate.
Yeah. So they were left on the streets to fend for themselves, and some of us just were not having that.
I agree with the assessment. I assume I'll be meeting them later today.
If they don't find you first.
Ominous.
Being on the streets for so long, they're a little cautious. I can't blame them. I was the same
Neither
way
can I.
when I was first leaving the forests. We haven't really gotten to Echo yet, but Egress at least is a little more open. Not by much, but a little more. I do wonder how you'll get along, actually. They don't have... Yeah.
Well, as long as they, are striving to better themselves, I have infinite patience. After all,
I wouldn't say that they're striving as much, but they don't necessarily know, perhaps. They did survive on the streets by stealing, and I don't know for how long.
Well, many a sin can be covered by a love for another.
Just need to teach. Well, it's clear that they love each other, at least. Well, again, I'll leave you to it. I still have so many papers to sort. I cannot wait to get back on the road again.
Is there any spare furniture in an attic that I can try to repurpose, or am I gonna have to go shopping?
There might be some in storage. Otherwise, you could probably grab some from
There are people who are going to bring furniture to the house.
Yeah. And there's going to be furniture later when those workers we paid for come, of course. But for now, you could probably take a chair, a table, or something from, I don't know, the library. There's one room that we're leaving intact for Esme. Do make sure that you don't take anything out of that. I wouldn't want to upset her.
Which room is this?
I believe it's on the first floor. One of the rooms closer to the
It
entrance.
was the den.
It used to be the den. I think it's next to the library.
Okay. Well, I hope to find some sort of shelf to unpack, but otherwise, I can wait until the
We do
construction workers arrive.
You do also have an impromptu armory, sort of just a ready access storage thing. If you need to leave things there for now, we won't mind.
Oh, I'm sure some of my stuff could fit well there.
So the
It's just down the
impromptu
hall.
armory is actually the former servants' quarters. There's a couple of beds in there and a couple of trunks. Couple of shelves.
So a good place to snag a piece of furniture.
There's the storage room. What are you looking for in particular?
A trunk or shelf to store a couple more personal items.
Yeah, you can find some trunks in the servants' quarters. Actually, there's a couple of different trunks in there with initials on them. One says CP, one says SW, and one says DR.
Well, I'll take the Star Wars trunk, please.
All right. Yeah, in that one, you find an old book on manners and etiquette, a spare jar of shoe polish, and 2 sets of common clothes.
Well, I just one shoulder carry it up the stairs, I guess.
Oh, it's
It's
just
actually on the
a
same
couple
floor, yeah.
doors.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, so I'm on the servants level.
It used to be the servants level. We're repurposing it as the guest floor, children's floor, armory floor.
Have the
Fair.
children on the same level as the armory, which is smart.
Listen, we'll lock away any weird magic swords.
Will you?
Probably. I would hope that we do.
Oh my god, pawn off the magic sword on one of the kids. Not the most ethical
Hey kids,
move,
you got a
but
new friend for you. Her name's Nivara.
ignore everything she says. You do that anyway, but
Idris, let me see what you have. A knife!
No!
Oh my god, why does he have a knife?
What can you?
So, Valk, you spend some time making yourself comfortable in the spooky house. And eventually, the others start to stir. Erin, when you wake up, Esme is actually in your room. She's not, like, doing anything, but she seems to just be kind of, like, looking at the den, or looking at the space. Like, she seems to be thinking about something. Also,
Well,
Felix,
that's
please
fun.
tell Bug I love her.
Yes.
Bug, you're loved. Behold your adoring fans. No.
Yeah.
There is no escape. Can I get her like a little like dragon costume or like some horns, and she'll just be Sniv?
Yes. Yes.
Because she's
Same
currently
energy.
running around attacking thin air like a freak.
Bug, the chaotic evil kitten.
She is a bastard, but she's a very good bastard.
Anyway,
Very cozy looking.
Erin,
Attacking. Okay, bye.
there's a ghost in your room.
This happens. Yeah, he'll just wake up and be like, "Oh, good morning, Esme."
She's like gesturing and like roll an insight check. Actually,
Oh, good. That's a 16.
you kind of get the gist that she's wondering like why you guys didn't put the children in here since it's a nursery, but like she's just wondering. She's not judgmental, and she kind of adds as an afterthought,
Something came in this morning. She's upstairs.
Aaron's just nodding along enthusiastically, like, for sure. I think I'll just say, yeah, we're just, getting stuff sorted out around here. I'm not really sure what it's all gonna look like. But I think we've decided what we're doing, like down here and up there too.
She like reaches over and like tries to pat you on the shoulder, but it goes through you a little bit. It's kind of weird.
Just like Aaron just up to have pat her hand, but again, since she's not there, Aaron just kind of pats his own shoulder.
And she kind of just like gives you a look and then like drifts out into the hall.
Yeah, Aaron will go out and try to see where the people are, see what's happening.
Esme seems to be trying to lead you upstairs.
Yeah, he'll follow that.
Okay.
Oh, is everyone up here?
Valk, you're getting your room set up when Esme drifts through the wall, making Sniv jump and hiss at her.
And Valk just kind of nods at Esme and just kind of like, Sniv, this is her home too. Be nice. Well, be nice for you.
So you were being taken to the upstairs guest room.
Nice. Yeah, Aaron just like definitely just stands there for a good like 20 seconds when Esme goes through a wall. Like
you hear a hiss from inside.
How am I supposed to get through here? But yeah, you'll go and like, hello?
Come in.
Oh, Bo, you're here.
Yeah, I arrived early this morning. Hawk let me in. And we elected to let you guys sleep while I got settled a little bit. See? At which point you see like a chair shoved into a corner, a trunk added to the room, kind of half deflated rucksack by it.
Aaron claps and says, "Ooh, well, you've managed to get more set up in just a few hours than I have in a few days. So, congrats. Yeah, sorry I wasn't awake to see you in earlier.
I was early."
How were your travels? Everything go well?
Yeah, dug up a little bit of information, not as much as I would like. Have a couple books on that to hopefully do some more research. Getting used to, working with Sniv and making sure he does something resembling behaving. At which point she kind of, well, okay, I would wink. I don't know what Valk would do at Sniv. And then
Sniv does flip you both off, though.
Thumbs up.
Is he still on the leash?
No, he's been released at this point in time.
Yeah, he's been tearing more wallpaper off.
It's productive.
Being a good, productive boy of society.
Aaron flips him off back.
What's the vermin situation in the house?
Oh, I don't think I've seen anything.
Well,
there's definitely spiders somewhere, but I don't think I've happened across any of them.
Well, Sniv, once you're done with the wallpaper, maybe that could be the next thing you work on.
Do you like spiders?
Make a new stick for whacking.
They're good for eating.
Yeah.
And you
that'd be
seem
one
to
solution.
recall, Erin, that the last time you saw Sniv, he had been stubbornly refusing to speak common. But now he's communicating at least.
I did see a squirrel outside.
I've talked to that squirrel. We're friends.
I'd like to eat it.
I'm not certain you'd appreciate that.
Well, I didn't appreciate you leaving your monster traps all over the place either. But here we are.
At which point Valk just kind of goes shrug and continues taking stuff out of the rucksack.
That's fair. That's fair. I suppose I deserve that.
He just goes back to like tearing the wallpaper off and actually starts making like a little bit of claw marks on the wall underneath.
Oh, is he using the shreds to like make a nest in a corner? Or is he eating
leaving
all
them
of
on the
it?
floor at the moment? He's like, I'm going to destroy this room.
It's productive. Keeping him busy.
I don't think you know what productive means.
It needs to come down to putting you up, so
The whole room? And down to the framing?
Take the framing off too.
no, leave the framing.
Why?
Because the new wallpaper will need something to go up on. Unless if you want to
Why?
rebuild the
I'm
new.
just gonna tear that off too.
No, we leave the good wallpaper.
It's all bad though.
Maybe we can find a different place in the house that you'll feel more comfortable in instead of my room. If you'd like that.
He just takes off out the door.
At which point Valk goes like, I'm gonna regret that. Don't go into anybody's room that's, theirs. At which
Roll a
point
persuasion check.
17 plus whatever I got.
Okay. You don't know if he's
23.
okay. You don't know if he's listening to you, but
I try.
Hopefully.
Aaron just shoots Valk a look like, you must be so proud of him.
Okay. I have to verbally say this. I am loving all the Stitch references to Sniv. It is spot on.
Yes.
I should probably make sure he's not getting into the ghost room because we don't want an angry ghost.
Ooh, yeah, that would really be disrespectful to Esme. Is she still in the room?
No, she's disappeared.
All right. Yep, this is, her house after all.
Yeah. Could you lead me to the den, please? Maybe somewhat
sorry.
quickly.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and after that, if you wanted to do a full tour, I could do that. Yeah.
Priorities
Den's down
first.
here. Yes. He'll lead Valk down.
All right, so the den, let me pull open the description. Well, I will say that Sniv is not in there. So it's a spacious room. There's a cracked and broken window through which light is coming in. There used to be dusty white sheets covering the furnishings, but it seems that the wild roses pulled them off and cleaned up any cobwebs that might have been in there. There's a few hunting trophies on the walls, like antlers and wolf heads, and there is a stone fireplace above which there is a family portrait depicting, you can see Esme there with her husband and 2 children.
Aaron, could you make sure Sniv doesn't get in here while I grab something to at least erect a small barricade until I make sure he understands that this room's off limits?
Of course, yeah.
At which point, chug, 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 chug up the stairs very loudly up to the armory to try to find something to barricade the room.
Pretty sure you guys can hear.
Literally, Lish will probably like stick his head out of the doorway and just be like, "Hello, Valk, will you please be quiet? Some of us are trying to sleep," and just close the door.
Sorry, dealing with Sniv. Chunk, 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 chunk.
Tobias, it probably wakes up semi in the morning like he normally does and stuff, and then he hears Valk hauling ass up the stairs, and he's just like, what is something happening? He peeks his head out, sees Valk just running up the stairs. He's like, Valk!
Hey, Toby, nice to see you. Gotta deal with Sniv. Chug, 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 chug.
He looks like a lazy
When
child.
Lish
He's like,
Levy, where she was probably like just jostled out of her own sleep because Toby fucking like left the snuggle pile or whatever. Fucking like goes, "Is Valk here? That's great." Rolls over, goes back to sleep.
Demir rolled a nat 20 on her perception check, so by the time Lish gets back to bed, she is already up and like, "Did Valk arrive?"
He's just
Starts
like
to warily get
he
up.
kind of like sighs and like piles Demir like back to bed. Like, don't want to get up yet. We're not dealing with that just yet.
Tobias will wait at the stairs for when Valk comes running back down and then run down or jog down after her and stuff. Like, did you just arrive this morning?
Yeah, I got in earlier. I had Sniv in my room helping with the wallpaper situation, and then I said that if he didn't want to bunk with me, he could find another place, and bolted, and figured to block off the den before he pisses off Esme.
Ooh, yeah, that is a good idea.
Because, well, I'm doing my best, but Sniv is still very much Sniv.
Well, I haven't seen him yet, but already I can tell you've made a lot of progress. The fact that no one has gotten whacked with the stick so far. At least, I don't think, unless someone has already gotten whacked with the stick.
Well, none to my knowledge yet.
Then we have made progress. Or you have made progress.
You know, you do what you can with what you got.
Anything I can assist with?
I'm just basically trying to make a 3-foot barricade in front of the door with like a chair or like a shield or something. Just in front and a little too heavy for Sniv to deal with until I can properly explain to Sniv, this is the one person you don't want to piss off.
Tobias will assist with that however he can. whether it be helping set up stuff or carry things or whatnot.
I appreciate the assistance.
All right. So you make a baby gate in front of the den.
Exactly.
Great.
Is there any other places that Sniv could get into particular trouble in the house that I don't know of yet?
There is in the closet in the foyer. Tobias will lead Valk over to where the closet that has the trapdoor down into the cellar is. He'll indicate to the trapdoor. There isn't really anything down there. The one thing that we might, I doubt he's gonna jump down there, but there is a well.
He can climb. He lived in a hole in the ground before we met him anyway.
Fair enough. The reason why I brought it up was because Tobias drops to a very low whisper so Esme wouldn't hear him because he doesn't know where she is. The lord of the house fell down there. So, yeah.
Completely out of character. Isn't there a wizard hubris hole on the property?
We got that close.
Okay, good, because I don't want to be going into an alternate dimension to deal with catching Sniv.
Yeah, don't worry.
Shadow.
You're giving me ideas.
Kobold hubris hole. Kobold hubris hole.
Crunchwrap Supreme in the Shadowlands.
Crunchwrap
Like,
Supreme.
yeah, I found my
Shadowfell arc.
Like, yeah, I found my new room.
Yeah, it's great and damp, and I love it. Oh god, that would be so cursed.
Tobias will also bring up, there is a greenhouse. We've been currently helping to renovate it and put new plants in it and stuff for Esme, since she really enjoys gardening and she wanted to plant a lot of flowers around the house. That would probably be the other room that we would want Sniv getting into and destroy.
At which point Valk does her orders equivalent of a cross and goes, we should check to make sure he hasn't gotten out there yet either.
That would be best, yes. Shit, how destructive is he around books?
Library first then.
Okay.
Library archive first it is.
So you go to the library, and there's the remains of the conspiracy web that Toby, Ian, and Levy, and I think Hawk too, where you guys were working on last time. Sniv is not in there.
Okay. Looks like you guys have been busy, but that's too organized for Sniv's work. At which point,
that's definitely all of us. Is all of us. that's.
I doubt he would want to bed down in here, but I will have to have a discussion about this room with him. You said there was a greenhouse outside.
The conservatory.
It's a conservatory. It's over this way, and Tobias will lead Valk over to the conservatory. As they're walking through the house, can I have Tobias roll a perception check to see if he hears Sniv?
Roll a perception check. Yeah.
Cool. Wow. Sniv just doesn't fucking exist, huh? That
Did you roll that for one?
It was a nat one, so that's a 2.
Yeah.
Well, you've been busy.
Sniv does not
you have no
fucking
clue.
exist.
He could be fucking anywhere.
He could be halfway across the country.
He could be me. He could even be.
He could even be. But yeah, Tobias would lead Valk to the conservatory and like show him the potted plants or the pots of dirt that they have cleared out. Did Hawk buy seeds?
No seeds yet, I don't think. I think Hawk bought the seeds, but he didn't plant them yet.
Levy,
Okay.
when she went out with Hawk to grab seeds and a set of tinkering tools, picked out like the best farm girl, rather the best seeds that she could with her farm girl knowledge.
Yeah.
For
You
this
guys
climate.
have seeds, but you haven't planted them yet.
Yeah, we haven't actually
probably
planted
just
the seeds
sitting on
yet.
the,
They're probably sitting somewhere, yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you could go ask Hawk for them. He's definitely awake.
Sniv
Oh,
just
I just
handfuls
wanted
of
to-
seed.
He's not in there.
Not in there. Oh no.
Well, at which point, if he's not pissing off the ghost and I don't hear any one of the roses yelling at him, I'm gonna fix whatever he damages and hope for the best.
Got two unseen house denizens now, the ghost and the kobold.
and the children.
No, the children are seen denizens.
They hide a
Occasionally.
lot of the time.
Okay, fair.
Perhaps we should track him down just to see where he is, because I imagine that the rest of the party won't have any issue if they find him, but I don't believe the two little children that are also staying here are aware that he exists and that he was coming here.
That is a good point.
I'm not able to hear him. Are you able to hear him? That's usually a bad sign if no one can hear him.
Yeah. Okay. Have I figured out a good bribe for him yet?
He likes raw fish.
Okay. So I sit down and do ascending.
Okay.
I will give you as much fish as you want for a week if you meet me in the foyer to go over ground rules.
Roll a persuasion check.
24.
24. You hear Sniv in response.
Fine.
And that's it.
Well, at which point I go and sit in the foyer waiting for him to appear.
Okay. He comes slinking downstairs. There is a suspicious amount of feathers on his clothes. And one between his teeth.
At which point I turn to Toby. Do you guys have chickens or had chickens?
No, I think he may have gotten into a pillow. Or a comforter. Probably a pillow.
Replaceable. Okay. Sniv. I am willing to honor you wanting to be in your own space. The one requirement is that it's not a space claimed by someone else already. That includes everyone's rooms or the spaces that Esme has claim over. And I will show you those. At which point, I will let you do your own thing. Is that a deal?
I did find a good spot.
Well, let's go look at that spot and make sure that it's not in one of the spaces that I haven't shown you yet.
Okay. So he takes you upstairs and points at the breakfast nook. And when you open the door, you find that the fragile tea set that was in there is intact. However, the tasseled pillow with that had been embroidered has been like torn asunder.
I'm guessing that's well past mending.
There's like pieces of it all over.
I would imagine that some of the pieces are also inside Sniv.
Yeah. At which point, Valk just kind of goes, how often do you guys use the breakfast nook?
Not really often, honestly. I mean, we mostly just ate food in the kitchen. As of right now, I don't see any reason why he can't stay here. Let me just move these out of the way for you. He'll pick up the tea set.
I agree.
So
is the dog bed intact?
Huh?
Is the dog bed intact?
Oh no. That he put that thing in his mouth and he shook it and it's all over the place.
Oh, that was the embroidered pillow you were talking about. Okay.
Okay.
He kind of just like gives a silent apology to Esme. He's like, I'm sorry. But he will take the tea set and hold it, so he can take it downstairs.
Yeah. The tea set itself, with 4 cups and a teapot, depicts flowering foxglove in Valk. It looks kind of expensive.
At which point, is Esme hovering here?
No.
Or at which point it's just like, I'm sorry. Turns to Toby. I'm sorry for bringing Sniv here, but I have to watch him.
Sniv flips you off again.
Oh no, it's fine. After all, since you've taken him under your care, it's only understandable that he would come.
Okay, Sniv, this can be your space. Now we need to have a talk later about what is safe to destroy and what is not safe to destroy, and will anger people that you don't want to anger. But at which point Valk does like a 360. Is there anything else in the room that is obviously would be an issue if you destroyed?
Not really. There are drapes on the walls that are for decoration, and there's wicker chairs and a small table.
At which point I go, this is your space. We'll deal with it later. And I'll talk to the rest of the house to make sure everything's okay. Deal? And Valk extends a little hand out to the wee Sniv.
He takes your hand, shakes it, and then starts trying to set about using the chairs as a scratching post.
At which point Valk turns to Toby. I'll get you new ones.
It's okay. We have new furniture coming in anyway.
At which point Valk just kind of starts backing out of the room like Chris Pratt with Velociraptors.
They're both like, okay, bye. He quietly shuts the door on Sniv as he scratches away.
And Valk just goes, okay, now that chaos has been dealt with.
There we go. He's been officially assigned a room.
Yay!
Sniv's Kobold Cave on the 2nd floor.
Well,
I'm honestly
it
surprised he
certainly
didn't
sounds
take a place in the cellar.
Honestly, same. But like, if
He probably didn't get down there. He probably found the first spot that looked
Oh yeah,
good, and then
Yeah,
yeah.
pretty
He probably
much.
he didn't go too far. He didn't go far enough to find the trapdoors to the basement. Otherwise, he'd probably like completely just like overtake the pantry or something. Fill it full of
Yeah,
like
but-
traps and shit. Have a little creature collection in a barely maintained wooden cage.
Well, maybe we can negotiate Sniv to move later.
I mean, if we need the breakfast nook or don't want to risk him destroying the rest of the house, maybe.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
Players episode 67. Sniv gets a room.
Yeah.
I
May
will
he be
say
immortalized
at
forever.
this point,
My
probably
crazy
everyone
kobold
else
roommate.
is awake. What are you guys doing?
Well, Tobias is
Uh.
delivering the
Wait,
tea
but
sets
I
and
don't think that
kitchen.
she's. Oh, sorry. I was gonna say I think Samir is awake, but I don't know exactly if being squished by Lish means that she's up.
I mean,
Val-
does Demir want to get up and go?
I mean, yeah, she kind of like when like Lish squishes her and she kind of like gives in for a little bit, but like she's like very clearly like has awoken and is not going to get back to sleep.
Awoken.
Awaken.
Lish will try and convince her to just chill for a bit longer until she like eventually wants to actually like go. So
Okay, but, like, if Valk is here, do you think she brought her kobold?
Lish just kind of shrugs.
Do you think we should do something about that?
The others are up. He's like saying this like face first in like a pillow.
Jameer is just going to kind of like sigh a little and then like tuck in at his shoulder and give him a little smooch wherever she can reach. Being obnoxious.
He'll let her up if she wants to go, but he'll roll over and just be like,
Yeah, she's gonna get up.
Lish will turn into a what were you gonna say, Avery?
Yeah, so what Samir gets up and like kind of gets herself dressed and starts to head towards the door, and then like as she's at the door, oh by the way, I had a dream, and leaves.
Why are you like this?
And then Samir will. Oh.
Lish is gonna turn into a dog and follow her down.
What kind of dog do you turn into?
The black kind of collie that he turns into.
Oh, he's so fluffy. Yeah, Jameer's just kind of gonna make her way downstairs and like try and listen for the sound of crashing or chaos.
I mean, as you pass by the breakfast nook, you hear like a weird scratching sound.
Slowly open the breakfast nook door.
You see Sniv destroying one of the chairs.
Slowly close the breakfast nook door. And I'm gonna make my way downstairs, I guess. See if I can find anyone.
Is there a good sitting place on the first floor?
Yeah, there's a few of them. Their first floor has the den, of course. There's also a parlor. There's a few places to sit in the library. There's a dining room, and there's a music room.
I guess Valk's in the parlor, just kind of breathing through dealing with Sniv.
Yeah, you see Demir come down and kind of wander in after a little bit. She's holding a loaf of bread.
Hey, it's good to see you, but Sniv kind of set up in the breakfast nook. If that's an issue, I can negotiate with him to get him to move elsewhere. But for right now, I'm doing the best I can.
No,
DM, is anyone else in the room, or is it just me at this point in time?
Is anyone else in the room? That's up to the
Which room is this?
Characters.
The parlor.
The parlor?
Like, unless Demir is still in there.
Fuck, where's the parlor?
Parlor's first floor next to gallery.
Tobias would probably have joined Doc after he put the tea set away in the kitchen.
Oh, okay. Anyway, yeah, it's really good to see you, Demir. What's been up with sorry to be handling all the business first, but how are things going with Navara?
I'm afraid she's going to be staying with me for a little longer.
Navara has been proving difficult to be dealt with.
I figured. And there's a reason why I prepped the spell today. Walk up, remove curse.
Ooh. Oh, Jesus!
Can I get a...
Can I get an insight check for what Valk is about to do?
Sure. Roll an insight check.
Came out of left field for Demir. Okay. Hold on.
Well, it was specifically described as hard to let go. She immediately goes, I'm not getting rid of it. Toby goes, it's been a problem. Whack!
That's an 18.
A 16?
18.
18. Yeah, you're able to tell.
Demir is backpedaling the fuck up. Like,
Tobias stands up and immediately approaches Demir.
So basically we corner Demir and I just go, nope, whack.
Actually, for the purposes of this, I'm going to have the three of you roll initiative.
Oh boy.
Which is just a dog there, like,
Yeah.
Well, that's a 6 initiative for me, so.
Okay.
It's D20 plus dexterity bonus, right?
Yes.
19.
19.
27.
Okay.
Get obliterated. Get obliterated, Demir.
So, Tobias, you exchange a look with Valk, and you come to a silent understanding with one another. And in one swift movement, you kind of push Demir forward. Valk, you reach forward and touch her to cast Remove Curse. Demir, I'd like you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh boy.
This is what you
That's a
get.
natural one. That's a natural one for a 3.
Okay. So, okay. You guys are not gonna like this.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
So, Valk, you reach out and touch Demir, and you can see the threads in a way connecting Demir to Nevara. And with the Remove Curse, you attempt to sever these threads. And when you do so, Nevara reaches for Demir and pulls. And Demir, you collapse on the ground.
Yay! Yeah. Yep. Okay. Cool. Am I at 0 hit points? Or am I just dead?
You rolled a natural 1, right?
Yeah, I rolled a natural 1.
You're dead.
Oh!
What the fuck? Uh-oh.
So Navarre killed Demir.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking god!
Okay.
What are
Lish
the
is-
rules on Revivify?
Yeah, Lish is popping out of dog form and fucking holding Demir and casting Revivify
Okay.
immediately.
Now both members of the cold married couple have had an actual death experience.
Does Demir have Navarra on her?
Yeah.
Yes.
Tobias is going to grab Navarra, still in its sheath or whatever. Like, he's frozen in fucking place, and then when Lish starts casting Revivify, Tobias is gonna fucking grab Navarra and hurl it to the other side of the room.
Okay. Yeah, you know, if you had not rolled a natural 1, you would have just been at 0 hit points.
Yeah. Yep.
Jesus.
Lish
The
is
dice
like
are out for blood.
Lish is so fucking upset, but more than upset, he's pissed the fuck off. He's like, fucking sword, I swear to God, this doesn't work. I'm throwing it into a volcano. I'm going to get your soul. Like, he's saying this like under his breath, like, I'm going to get your soul from the afterlife, and I'm going to squeeze it.
It's all right. Let me get a hold of myself so I can actually describe this. All right. Demir, you fall to the ground, and you experience a weirdly detached sensation. But at the same time, you feel like you were being held in the palm of someone's hand. And Lish, you reach down, pull out the diamond, and place it against Demir's forehead, and cast Revivify. The diamond scatters into dust. And Demir, while you're feeling the sensation of being held in someone's hand, you were wrenched away from the grasp, and you hear a cry of frustration, and you come back to yourself with a gasp and open your eyes.
Am I back at 1 hit point?
You're 1 hit point.
Cool.
I'm sorry, everybody. I didn't realize that would do that. Here, have a level 2 cure wounds.
Holy shit, you guys.
Jesus fucking Christ.
But like, wait, that
God.
wasn't remove curse. That was rip soul. Oops.
Whoopsie, wrong spell.
Oopsie doopsie.
Tobias
I made
is
a fucking
standing
lucky.
between
Green-
Demir and the sword.
The green
like,
pommel with the finger bone of Navarra's sword is glowing brightly.
Tobias is going to take off his cloak and wrap the sword in it.
Okay. I assume you're making an effort not to touch it.
Kenny.
I don't think Mackenzie heard you.
You're actively making an effort not to touch it.
Yeah, I'm he's making an effort not to touch it.
Lish is glaring at that fucking sword from
Okay.
over Demir's shoulder.
Tobias has made a decision with the sword fucking wrapped up in his cloak. And taking, he's basically, it's wrapped up in its cloak, taking one of his belts, fastening that around the cloak so it can't open, and he is fucking walking that bitch to the Royas. So he's taking it, the fucking Royas, to get it eviscerated or decursed or whatever the fuck. He is taking it far from Denver. He has
You're
made that
taking
decision.
it to
You
the
said there
wizard
was-
If
palace?
he catches Toby on his way out with the sword, she's gonna go with him and be like, what the fuck happened and what are you doing?
He is silent. He like his gaze. He is not in the present. He has made up his mind. He is just focused on whatever fucking objective he has. He's not.
And she's gonna go with him. He's not going alone if he's not gonna talk.
She can follow.
She will. Keeping a sharp eye on that one. What the? She's like, what the fuck is going on?
I feel like I owe people an apology. So, I'm sorry, you two, and I'll let you deal with things. And Valk just kind of stands up and just kind of walks out the room.
Backs away. Like,
Hands up, just backs away slowly.
Deal
Second
with the
time she has left the room.
consequences of mine own actions.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Lish is like, I don't think he'd let Valk get closer, but he's not like looking like he's gonna like attack Valk or anything.
And Valk
What?
just kind of, I'll let you two deal with things and then we'll talk. And just out.
What's happened? Where's the sword?
Volk removed it from you.
What?
But you're fine now.
No, I need. Zamir is gonna try and stand up, but
I don't think she probably could, even if she
Yeah.
wanted to.
yeah,
Lish
she,
will just keep holding her. Just like, just stay like this for a little bit.
What?
You don't need to go anywhere.
What's, where, what happened?
It tried to kill you, Demir, like we knew it would.
It wouldn't have happened if Valk and Toby hadn't forced my hand. I was trying to help them.
You can't blame them for wanting to help you, Demir. We all could see that it was not a good thing, as helpful as it tried to make itself seem.
Wish we need that sword.
We do not need that sword. And if all goes well, we will never see it again.
We need that sword.
No, we need something else. There are other things out there.
What? Where?
Don't know, we'll find something.
When? When it's too late?
Like, holds her face. Just like, I am not losing you over the promises of some object that lies.
I know she lies.
Then
But
you
I'm not...
know that her promises are hollow. Did she not mention Demir that she would try and steal your life? Regardless, even if you had saved mine, you would lose yours. I'm certain of it. If I am lost and you are lost, then what is the point of it all? There are other ways. There must be other ways. Please, Demir, listen to me. And do not chase that thing.
Fairvain. If there's even a chance of stopping the sort of stuff that happened in that tower from happening again.
That sword is not the only thing that can perform miracles.
I know, but it's the one we have. These things come with a price. And I'm willing to pay.
Sometimes the price need only be a shiny stone. Not your soul.
I can't lose you.
Don't intend for you to. But this is not the way.
Tell me what is, because I don't see any other.
We already put so much at risk. Why bring more unnecessary risk into it? Taking on the devils that we don't know by bringing devils that we do into our beds. It doesn't work out well.
It was not my choice to let it go. I know she's not trustworthy. I know she's lying to me. Can you trust that I know what I'm doing? Or are you going to make that decision for me, too?
I did not make this decision. But I think we both know that it was not the right decision for you to be making. Decisions made out of desperation and fear they are not the most clear-headed. You acknowledge that there are other ways to heal and revive. This sword greatly overstates her importance, just due to her availability.
Did I die?
Yes, darling. She tried to grab your soul and take it with her. I fear she would have done far worse had the circumstances been different.
Samir just kind of scrubs at her eyes, and tries to stand up again.
He'll support her with his arm, but he's on the floor too. So
yeah, she's well, that's a 2. I don't think she's right.
Plop.
She kind of tries to make it up, and her legs give out from under her, and she just kind of sits on the floor for a little bit and puts her head in her hands and just.
I think Lish will pick her up and bring her either into the living room to lie down on the sofa, or yeah, just on the sofa. He won't bring her all the way upstairs. Just
All right.
let her rest.
So Hawk and Erin, at this point you probably would have heard a commotion. Levy and Toby are just fucking leaving. Erin and Hawk, what are you guys doing? How's it going?
The moment Hawk probably heard commotion downstairs, he probably immediately was just like, something's happening. Just sets down whatever stack of papers he's working on, slams on the desk and rushes down.
Okay.
Yeah, Aaron's gonna.
Not that he can do anything, but if something needs punching, he'll punch it at least.
Yeah. Hawk, on your way downstairs, you see Valk going up the stairs.
Valkyrja, what just happened?
Out with the sword.
And it made that much noise? What's going on?
I dealt with the sword, and Valk just continues marching up the stairs to her room.
Hawk just mentally is like, that tells me nothing, and then keeps going.
Okay.
If Demir hears, she kind of turns in on herself, facing the couch part of the couch, so her back is out, and if she hears someone coming towards the room is casting invisibility.
Okay. Erin, what are you doing?
Yeah, he's heading down, going to go see what the ruckus is about.
Okay.
Normal Saturday ruckus. Oops.
Yeah.
Someone died.
Talking, Erin, you guys run into each other in the hall and make your way.
Erin's
over.
like, oh no, did Sniv get into something else?
You guys make your way over to the parlor via the gallery. Demir, you cast invisibility on yourself. So you see Lish in there.
Lish
By himself.
sitting on the couch, like rubbing Demir's shoulder, invisible. Just looks like he's touching the air.
Yeah. You see Lish miming like this next to the couch. You're like, do you want like a pet or something?
Oh no, did Sniv destroy the couch?
Lish just kind of puts his finger to his mouth, like,
Eowyn just nods and shrugs and doesn't say anything.
Lish kind of tilts his head to Aaron, though.
He shrugs again.
Like, you good? Lish kind of tilts his head towards Demir a little bit, like he's gonna say something, and then kind of sighs and looks back to Aaron.
I'm gonna roll an intelligence check for this. Oh. That's a 19.
Oh shit.
Yeah, okay. I think Aaron picked up on that. Aaron's he look still pretty confused, but like nod a little and then look down to the spot Lish has been looking at and nod a little more.
Aaron can come and give a pep talk.
And then he's just gonna look back at Lish and like look out of the room and then look back at Lish and then look down and then look back at Lish.
Like, what, is he asking permission to stay, or?
Yeah, Aaron's like, am I supposed to be leaving now? Should I be going over? What's the plan here?
Lish just kind of like he kind of gives like a half shrug and kind of like, I guess we'll gesture for Aaron to come over if he wants.
Yeah, Aaron will come over. And since he's not very confident about what parts of the couch have Demir on them, he's just gonna kind of like sit down on the floor next to the couch, maybe lean against it a little.
Sit on her stomach, just crunch.
Just crush Demir.
Suffocate her again. It's fine. It's fine. She has 1 hit point. It's fine.
Volk dumped a bunch of heal into her.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't.
How many hit
I
points
got.
did Demir get?
I never rolled. I just said I dumped a 2nd level cure wounds.
She's fine.
So,
Fine.
because I don't remember stuff off the top of my head since I'm not overly familiar with the system.
It's a D8
Per
Or
level?
I think so.
Oh, there's my notes. What do you have? +3. So 10. 10. So you're at 11 hit points.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah. Demir is just kind of keeping her face to the back of the couch and not acknowledging anyone. Most of this conversation happens silently too, and she's not looking.
Lish just trying to soothe and quiet. He seems to hope that she's kind of accepted his argument. She's not running after Toby or anything, so that's a good sign.
Hawk was heading downstairs too. Would he have been able to actually figure out where the commotion came from? Because all he knows is that it's downstairs.
Oh yeah.
Did he catch any of it?
Yeah.
He heard it. He started rushing down, and then he passed Valkyrja on the way, and she was just like, "I have dealt with the sword." So
I figured that you were with Erin, and you guys came in together.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Lish can feel Demir's shoulders shaking, but she's silent.
So is Lish just like holding the shoulder of an invisible Demir right now?
He is indeed.
Yeah.
Hawk's going to have some tact for once. I'm sure Levy's proud of him. And not say anything and read the room quite literally. Should I roll perception to see what I see for the aftermath?
Too.
Roll perception.
All right. Already know it's +3 from earlier. That bounced against my mug. Should I re-roll it? Probably not. It's a 3, so 6.
The room doesn't seem all that remarkable. I mean, you could have sworn that Toby was here before, but you don't know where he went. You don't see the sword anywhere.
I heard commotion, but should I leave?
This doesn't indicate for him to leave, just as like.
Hawk just nods. He'll look around the room as quietly as he can, just to double check, because clearly something happened. He just doesn't know what yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can sense the tension in the air, but
like hell, he's breaking it. Not this time.
Yeah, you can sense the tension. You don't know exactly what happened. Yeah. No one's offering any answers.
Should I roll investigation as a search around the room, or is that too soon after the perception roll?
I mean, you wouldn't be able to see anything.
Yeah, but like, if I didn't catch if anyone actually took the sword out of the room.
Tobias took it.
Okay. Once the moment he doesn't find anything, then he's going to like approach a little closer to Lish and just like quietly ask, was anyone else in here earlier?
Lish looking at Hawk.
But raises 2 fingers, right? Or is he actually talking? Sorry.
No, look. He's looks at Hawk and just kind of gives like a curious look, like, "Why are you asking?"
Because I'm concerned.
And he'll just say very softly that Tobias took the sword away.
Okay. I have no idea what happened, but I'll leave you two to recover. So with that, he quietly exits the room, and he's going to go search up Tobias. Aaron's still in that room, I would assume. So is he going to do anything?
Yeah. I actually have to head out now.
Okay.
So Aaron just sits silently and tries to provide presence. There being friends around for Demir as long as she stays down there.
Good vibes.
Good vibes only.
All right, bye, Dove.
Have a good day.
You too. But Hawk, you look around the house and you are unable to find Tobias or Levy.
Where did they? Well, he knows where Valkyrja is at least, so he's gonna chance talking to her. I assume that the door to her room is closed.
No, it would be open. She's in a rush.
He's gonna just like hesitantly peek around the door frame and see what's going on.
You see her now fully packed and the rucksack slung over her shoulder, and she kind of turns around and looks at you and sighs and kind of sits defeatedly in the chair that she had drug into the room.
I don't know what happened, but everyone else seems to have left the house for now. Sort of just like looking to the side back in the hall. Like, it's clear that he's confused about this whole thing and very deeply concerned that something has happened and no one is telling him what.
Well, when I left the sword with Demir, I was making a calculated risk when I was informed of what the sword's capabilities were. And so when I arrived this morning, I had remove curse prepared because, you got to be prepared for the worst.
Mm-hmm.
And when I had an opportunity to talk to Demir, and she indicated that she was overly attached to the sword, and Tobias indicated that it was a problem, we pincher maneuvered and I removed the curse. But because the sword had its talons so deep into her, it stole her life force, and Lish had to revivify her. Tobias took the sword to get it destroyed, and I don't know if I'm still going to be welcome here.
Is there another chair in? Is there another chair in the room?
No, it's the one chair and the
one chair
and the mattress-less bed frame, or the trunk. You could sit on the trunk.
Is the chair still against the wall, right?
Yeah, it's in the corner, kind of by. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, Hawk's going to sort of just like wall sit next to her, kind of. And just be like, so let me get this straight then. You removed the curse on the sword, but the sword took her life away because you did that.
I removed the curse on the sword is too powerful. I merely removed its hold on Demir, but when it lost its hold, it took everything she had, and we had to return her soul to her body.
And clearly, you're feeling responsible for that.
I was doing a good action. I would do it again. I just don't know if I will remain welcome here.
Hawk's going to motion to put a hand on Valk's shoulder. Will she let him?
Yeah, pretty much. She's kind of shut down for the most part.
Valkyrja, I don't think any of us can blame you for what just happened.
Demir might. Lish might. Even if I removed the curse, I still led to the events of Demir dying. And people tend to take that personally.
If
Especially
Lish was
when-
the one to remove the curse, the same thing would have happened. If I were the one to remove the curse, somehow, the same thing would have happened.
Then I'm glad it's me on the hot seat than you or Lish.
I don't think you're on a hot seat.
Well,
I don't know much about magic, but this would have happened regardless of who cast the spell. And I would like to believe that the rest of us are smart enough to know that.
the problem isn't the magic. The problem isn't the smart. The problem is how people react. And people don't always react smartly. So, I'm just waiting to see where the die falls, as it were. I appreciate you believing that I will still be welcome, and I hope I will be. I'm just prepared if not.
Right.
You get used to it.
Hawk sort of like tilts his head at that. He's just like, so this isn't the first time then.
Well, I'm always welcome when there's good needing doing, but once the good is done, I'm not always the most welcome. I work towards being more welcome, but this is ultimately out of my control right now.
Sometimes it feels like the world would be a much better place if... I assume this is not necessarily because of what you do, but because of Hawk sort of just like waves his hand in front of his face.
It doesn't help.
Then yeah, the world would be a much better place if people could see past that. I think I might have said back at the Wizard Tower that we've run into people in much similar positions. Werewolves, namely. Well, not werewolves, but lichen people. People like Tobias. People just as nice as him. Sort of just shunted out of society because they're not normal.
I think you just shared a secret that isn't yours to share.
Wait. Oh, you didn't know, did you?
No, I did not. And as far as
Well,
Toby knows,
shit.
I still don't.
Fuck. Okay. Oh dear. Hawk sort of just like full on buries his face in his hand, elbow on knee, just like, God damn it.
Well,
Oops. You can keep a secret, can't you?
you feel like the full power of Valk's gaze turns on you and goes, apparently better than you.
Clearly, yeah.
Now,
Wouldn't be the first time that my mouth has gotten me into trouble.
now, if you don't mind, I would like to wait privately for people's decisions to be made. At which point Valk gets up, throws the rucksack over her shoulder, and just heads to the foyer, just waiting for people's reactions to become clear.
Oxford just like stays there for a moment, keeps his head buried in his hands, just like, motherfucker. Why am I so dumb? And then eventually gets a hold of himself, just like heaves a bit in sighs and makes his way back to the office to sort his frustrations out, quite literally.
Okay. Is there anything anyone...
I forgot that Vuk actually didn't know. Oops.
Is there anyone anything anyone wants to do at the house?
Not until Demir is ready to get up, which I don't think will be for a bit.
Yeah, and that's what Valk's waiting on.
Yeah, Demir is keeping that invisibility up for the whole damn hour.
Okay.
Eventually she does stop shaking, but doesn't move. And Lish feels her move her head into his lap instead of just on the couch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll kind of tug her up a little bit so she's kind of resting against him. And he'll just keep kind of soothing her.
Okay. Honestly, she might cast invisibility again once that hour is up.
Girl! Aaron there on the couch like, whoa, jeez. There's Demir here?
At some point, Esme comes in and has a seat too. She doesn't say anything, and Demir, you very much get the impression that she can see you.
She's got a bag of popcorn and is
she's just kind of sitting there politely.
Yeah, actually, that does kind of change slightly what Demir is going to do, which is like when she feels like she is able to be seen, she does kind of like peek out and see Esme looking at her, see Aaron sitting on the couch, or on the floor by the couch, and she's gonna misty step into the next room.
it's like
okay.
He knows where she is. He immediately goes into the other room. It's like
yeah.
All right, are you going into the den then, or the gallery?
Into the brick nook, feathers everywhere.
Well, it is the place to have a mental breakdown.
It's the tantrum room!
Demir, feeling awful, teleports into the Sniv's room, and he's just like, "You want to break shit?"
Sniv is in constant tantrum mode.
Want to go fucking feral?
He has been kidnapped, in fairness.
His family murdered. He's been kidnapped. It's fine!
Totally wasn't Demir who did it, no.
Oh, fuck. That would be a thing.
He doesn't know that, though, I'm pretty sure. He just thinks that we did it in general.
In fairness, when he came back, his family was all gush. It was already smushed. It was fine. It's fine.
Well, depending upon how he remembers getting detrapped,
only
he
the
might
DM can
remember a very pointed statement that Valk made at Demir.
Oh.
Okay, would it be possible for her to misty step into her and Lish's room? Or is that too far away? It's 30 feet, so I'm not sure.
Too far away, I'm afraid. You could, let's see. Yeah, you could get into the den or the gallery, or you could get into Erin's bedroom upstairs.
misty step into the gallery, which breaks her invisibility. And she's just going to kind of head outside of the house.
You pass through the foyer and you see Valk with her bag standing there.
Oh. One of those little hobo sticks over his shoulder.
Just rocks.
Gonna go off on a journey.
Oh. Valk is just standing there, just like.
It's a Spider-Man pointing.
Absolutely frozen, like inhumanly still, just kind of like. And then just kind of turns around and pretends not to see anything.
Yeah, they definitely have that like minute stare off where like you can see that like Demir looks like she has been crying for the better part of an hour. And not look good. And when Valk turns and stares at the wall, Demir will move to the door and just walk out.
You guys are so awkward.
At which point, the moment that the mirror goes out the front door, Valk hustles into the parlor, sticks her head in, and goes like, "She went out the front door," and then just kind of keeps going.
Wait, Valk is also going outside?
No, not following Demir. Informs everyone where Demir went, and then just keeps walking inside the house to somewhere else.
So the parlor is a dead end?
Well then, fuck it. She walks into the parlor, just sits down with the rucksack, and says, "Demir went out the front door," and just kind of then re-shuts back down.
Okay. Aaron is sitting next to you. He like kind of awkwardly reaches out to pat your back and then puts his hands in his lap and he's like, I'm not sure what to do about this situation.
Lish
I don't think any of us are here, and that's a mood.
Lish is getting to go follow Demir because he can still sense her, so he'll go and figure out where she thinks she's going to go.
She's just walking, honestly. Not particularly fast or anything like that. He's more than capable of catching up to her. And she does stop when she sees him and just kind of looks so tired.
Yeah, I mean, he'll kind of catch her up a little bit, like with an arm, keep her from going even more forward. But she kind of stops on her own, so he's just kind of like, well, this is okay. And I don't know, he's not saying anything in particular. He's just like holding her and kisses her hair, and he knows that she's hurting.
She wraps her arms around him and just kind of lets him hold her for a little longer. And after a little bit, she's just, can we go somewhere? I don't care. I just don't want to be.
Shall we go for a run?
Yes. Let's.
And he'll hold her hand and kind of look for her approval to cast polymorph. And they'll go run as wolves for a bit.
Okay.
Get their yayas out.
As always with polymorph, the burden of deeper thinking is briefly lifted from you, Demir, and it does help.
That is precisely what she needs.
At this point, we will switch over to Levy and Tobias, who are on the road to Royas with the sword. What are you guys doing? Does anyone say anything?
I mean, Levy's just gonna try and keep up with Toby's long-ass fucking legs. He's probably hoofing it, so she might have to jog to keep up with him if he's speed walking. I mean, she'll probably occasionally try and verbally kind of prod him for answers on what happened. What do you have wrapped in your cloak there? Is everything okay? What's going on? You just took off. I don't know what happened. Fucking what's poppin'?
It takes a few hours to get to Royas, right?
It takes like 2.
2? Okay. At about probably an hour or so into their walking, Levy notices Tobias start to slow down a little, like he's like right from the outset for a full hour just walking at like a speed walk all the way to Royas, full gate. But then after about like an hour or so, he starts to slow down a bit until he kind of just comes to a stop. And at that point, like, he kind of blinks a few times and looks down at her as if realizing that she's been there.
She'll stop with him and look up at him and kind of she'll reach out to put her hand over his on the wrapped up sword that she doesn't know is a sword yet. But she won't quite make the contact and kind of look up at him like, well, are you gonna tell me what's going on? Like,
When she reaches to put her hand over his, because it's the one that's holding the bundle, he visibly flinches away and like moves the bundle away from her. But he does grab her hand with his other one and holds it tightly as he looks at her, and his eyes are starting to water a bit as he says, taking his sword to Royus to have it fucking destroyed.
What what sword? I don't. And she's gonna actually grip his hand as tightly as he's gripping her hand back and kind of pull him forward. So they're sort of standing like toe to toe, chest to chest sort of deal, and she'll let go of his hand just to like wrap her arm around him. She's not reaching for the sword or anything. She's just going for the physical comfort angle, and she's gonna just. What happened? What's going on?
Almost heavily as he's like giving himself the chance to actually breathe. And when he speaks to her, it's in a very quiet whisper and says, Nabara killed Demir.
Killed
Lish brought her back, but Nabara killed Demir. Valk, she was able to remove the curse, but Demir didn't want it to happen. She didn't want to let it go, and because we know that the sword has been influencing her, me and Valk didn't let her leave. And when Valk tried to remove it, it killed her. I had a hand in killing her. I swore that I would protect all of you, and yet I fucking killed her.
Now, sweetheart, this isn't your fault. And I'm not going to hear that it is. No, Tobias, it isn't your fault. Did you even have an inkling that anything like that was going to happen?
I should have considered. I should have.
All you were concerned about was Demir's safety and removing that nasty curse and making sure that she was going to be okay in the long run.
But I fucked it up. I can't seem to do anything right.
Oh my goodness. Levy's going to wrap her other arm around him. And with this arm, she will reach for the sword. Do I need to do a sleight of hand check for that?
He is gripping that thing like his knuckles are bone white.
She's not gonna like try and take it from him. She's just gonna like try and place her hand over his again.
I would say this would be an acrobatics check. And Toby, if you're going to try to have her not touch your hand, athletics to like the lady in the train in that one Vine.
Tobias will try to avoid her. He doesn't want her hand anywhere near the sword. So
roll athletics then. Levy acrobatics.
Does somebody? Fuck. I don't. Oh, nat 20. Let's go.
Toby, what did you get?
18.
Okay.
You got an 18.
Yeah, eat shit. You
Before
will
you
be
can move
comforted.
before you can move your hand away, Levy puts her hand on yours.
She's gonna get a good grip on his hand over the sword, which is covered by his fucking cloak, and she's just gonna like squeeze him like a fucking like boa constrictor or some shit. like a human like weighted blanket. She's gonna squish him gently with love.
It's like a fucking wheeze leaves his lungs. Like all the air is gone, and she can feel his body shaking as he's trying to hold himself together, but he's starting to spiral. And he's starting to hyperventilate a little.
Tobias, sweetheart, you have to breathe deeper. I need to. Slow down. Just breathe for a minute, okay? We're gonna get rid of this stupid killer sword. You didn't mean for any of that to happen, and you had no idea that any of that would happen. And just hold your horses a little bit on blaming yourself entirely and talk to Demir first.
I don't want her to hate me. I don't want to have to leave this place.
I could not hear any of that. I'm so sorry.
He says, I don't want her to hate me. I don't want to have to leave this place. I don't want to do that again. I love living here I love being with all of you. I don't want to lose that again.
Hand me the sword before you hurt yourself gripping it like that. First of all. I'm not gonna unwrap it or touch it or nothing. Just don't want you hurt. She's gonna start like kind of moving her hand on top of his to try and like loosen his grip on the sword.
He almost gets a little of a wild look in his eyes as he sees Sleepy do this. He goes, no.
I'm not gonna touch it.
Close. Like he wrapped the belt around it to do it.
I'm not gonna touch it. I just want you to not hurt your hand because it's a sword.
At her reiteration, he drops it.
She'll kind of like really awkwardly reach around him with one of her feet and like kick it away. She's not letting him go.
Then she is going down with him as he kind of just sinks to his knees and like buries his face in his hands and just keeps saying, I'm sorry, I don't know what's wrong with me.
There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with you. Something just happened. And she'll kneel in front of him and kind of just gather him up in her arms again and just tuck his head under her chin. She's like kneeling up since he's kind of just collapsed in a heap, I'm assuming.
Like he's sunk down to his knees and like hands over his face, like hunched forward.
Yeah,
she probably stopped him before he full on sank to the ground and curled up.
She'll just do one of those, put the face in the just the crook of her neck and shoulder here, and just hold him tight and rock them back and forth. Pet his hair, hush him, the whole fucking 9 yards.
He kind of keeps whispering. It gets quieter and quieter. He keeps whispering, I'm sorry, I don't know why I can't do this. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know why this keeps happening.
Nothing's wrong with you. Things just happen, Toby. It's gonna be all right. Demir's alive. Lish brought her back, you said. Everything will be okay. We're gonna get rid of this sword. And it's all gonna be fine. We're all gonna be just fine.
His breathing starts to slowly even out as he stays quiet at that, and then eventually he'll slowly lift his head from where he had it rest on her shoulder. His eyes are very red from crying. He still looks upset, but he kind of swallows down. Like, he opens his mouth briefly to say something, but then swallows it back down.
She'll
kind of just settles for giving a nod. It's clear that he does not feel certain that he believes it, but he is instead choosing to put his faith in Levy.
Okay. She's gonna like try and do the mom with the sleeve tucked over the hand, like get it.
Come
get
here,
his
kid.
Face all,
His face.
Get his face a little less like gross, and just kind of fuss over him for a second, straighten him up, and
as she does that, he mumbles a quiet thank you.
anytime, really, just come on. And she's gonna very carefully pick up the sword from where she kind of like nudged it away with her foot. I've got this. Nothing's gonna happen to me. I've already got the extra spirit thing going on for me. Don't. It's fine. That's probably in the way of something. I don't know.
Probably punch Nagar in the face anyway. If he has one.
Well, if she had a physical one right now, I would be rearranging it for killing Demir, provided that you or Lish had left anything for me to deal with. But that's beside the point. Let's just get to town, find somebody who can take care of this, and be done with it. Take care of the whole thing.
I would love nothing more.
All right.
Do you need me to repeat?
Yes, I'm sorry. The call quality through my phone is so bad.
No,
and
it's all good. I know I sometimes
it's-
talk a little quiet, so.
It's all gobbledygook.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Tobias says, I would love nothing more.
And she'll offer him her hand.
Yeah, he will
That
not
isn't
let go of
holding
her
the
hand
fucking
entire
sword.
walk.
Yeet.
He will
All right.
not let go of her
We're
hand.
off to find a wizard.
He
A
will
wizard
walk
who
at a
can
reasonable
destroy
pace
swords.
so she doesn't have to haul ass to keep up with him.
All right.
Sick. We love a gentleman.
They're off to see the wizard, the wonderful
So,
wizard of kill this fucker.
I will say that for the sake of time, you are able to locate Aldrich. I assume that's the person you
I mean,
like the
probably.
best at the.
Yeah, because Tobias didn't know anyone else at the college. He's just going to Aldrich, and he's like, Aldrich will tell me who to go to if he can't do it himself.
He informs you that there is a vault where within the school where dangerous magical items are kept, and he is happy to place it in there for you.
Perfect.
And
Just hands over the fucking
as long as
sword.
it stays away from Demir and from other people, fucking yeet that bitch in there and lock
Alright.
the door.
All right.
Just don't let anybody touch it without some kind of barrier between. Like, we can't.
Could I
That's how
get my
it
cloak and
gets
belt
you.
back, please?
Don't worry, most of the things in that room are
Perfect.
not to be touched. I will place it in there with the utmost care.
Thank you.
Once they transfer the sword over there, or transfer the sword to Aldrich, if he either has it setting to the side or he's already gone and put it in the vault and came back, Tobias like looks at him, fucking gives him a hug and says, "Thank you," and then pats him on the shoulder and like is ready to go.
All right. Aldrich will place the sword in there. Once you guys are gone, he, for obvious reasons, does not want to have the location of the vault be public knowledge.
Obviously, yeah.
And he accepts the hug in the fun, awkward autism way. And do you guys do anything in the city, or do you head back immediately?
Heading back immediately.
All right. So you guys, all one way or another, find yourselves back at the house. What do you do? Valk, I assume you're still just hanging out with your bag awkwardly.
Yeah, hasn't moved. Like,
Okay. Aaron also has not moved, and it's just awkward because like he seems to be waiting for you to make a first move on anything, or like
oh, I'm not even sure if Valk knows Erin is there. She is not there.
When Tobias and Levy come back, Tobias first checks the parlor. And
Wherever Toby's
only
going, Levy's going.
Yeah, and only finds Valk and Erin. And Esme, is she still there?
Esme has disappeared.
Fair enough.
Uh-oh. Sniv.
Basically, upon
Sniv,
seeing Valk,
at this point has passed out in the pile of the rubble of the room.
Tobias will go and stand in front of Valk and just say, Valk.
She very mechanically just kind of tips up and looks directly at you and goes, Toby.
Stand up, please.
Just kind of creakily stands up. Very obvious she hasn't been moving.
Tobias wraps her in a tight hug and just murmurs, "Thank you for getting me that fucking sword."
At which point, Valk just finally begins to cry into Toby's shoulder.
Oh, no, don't. Oh.
Tobias will
Levy's gonna kind of sort of join the hug a little bit because Valk is their friend.
Aaron will also join in the group hug.
Sick. Levy will, however, kind of mumble out it. Oh, okay, but where Demir and Lish?
Outside, I think. Like, in between sobs. So it's like, outside, I think. I'm going to limit the amount of cry acting I'm going to do because I will fucking start crying because life, and I don't want to go there right now.
I think we're all at that point, honestly.
Fair.
Yeah. Levy will probably be the first to disengage from the hug then, because she's going to go try and see if she can't hunt down the married couple. See where they're at.
At which point, Valk kind of starts wailing to Toby, just like, I thought I had found friends finally, but you guys gave me a room instead of just a couch. And then I tried to help, and Amir died, and now she hates me. And Lish will hate me too.
Tobias kind of repeats the same stuff that Levy was telling him, saying, "It's okay. It'll be okay. We don't know. We haven't spoken to Demir. Everything will be okay."
At which point she just returns to sobbing, and you are absolutely just, your shoulder is very wet because so many eyes.
It's important to me.
I mean, so I can cast Polymorph a couple times, but it would take Tobias and Levy 4 hours with probably a little bit more on top of that to get there and back. So I can do it for 2 hours for Demir. So what are we doing for the other 2 hours? Just chilling?
Yeah, I think I think that Demir uses her own polymorph since she didn't use her invisibility earlier. For that last for 3 hours, and then for the final one, wherever they have found themselves, she's just going to kind of when she turns back into a human, just kind of like the most like exhausted sigh, like, I don't want to have the higher thought. But she'll just like kind of sit there for a little bit and just like
also, if you've been running straight away from the house as wolves, you're for 3 hours, you're going to be more than 3 hours as a person back.
No, I think Lish would have been hurting Demir's running back towards the house. Because he knows she doesn't have full capacities to think not to run at full bore away forever. So he'd use like nipping her to go backwards a little bit sometimes and yada yada.
Yeah, you definitely get bit a little bit, but it's fine.
I think we're somewhere between an hour and a half an hour away, probably.
Yeah. And like Demir is just going to kind of like find like wherever she popped out of wolf form, just kind of sit there for a minute and just it's going to be a mess to go back.
You think so?
Valk looked a wreck.
And so were you. If anything, I'd be more afraid of your temper than Valk's.
That's not what I...
What do you mean?
I don't want to deal with any of it. I just died today. I think that's a good enough excuse not to deal with any of it.
I'm sorry, in my head I'm just like, Demir, if it wasn't you dying today, it would be any old other excuse in the book to not deal with it, wouldn't it, Demir?
Yes.
Never mind that the thing she does need to deal with is the fact that she fucking died today.
Yep!
Lish kind of like rolls his head on his neck a little bit thoughtfully and kind of says, well, you can rest all you want, but I do think perhaps you should say something to them. If you're still going to be mad at them, I would ask that you direct that anger towards me instead. Because frankly, Demir, if they hadn't done it, I would have.
But you didn't. And you couldn't. Or else you would have already.
But I would have. And I would most assuredly have done so. Don't think on them too harshly. They're just trying to help. They love you Tobias loves you.
I didn't need help. I had it under control.
I'm sure that's what the sword said to you as well.
No, she wanted more from me that I wasn't giving her. I know you think of me as a stupid, foolish mortal.
I don't think of you that way.
Then how do you?
You love very deeply, and you take on risks that hurts yourself in order to help the people around you. You matter just as much as anyone. Demir, you have seen me die twice now. You know how that felt. I have now seen you die in front of me. You must know how that makes us feel.
This is my own fault. I should have never let. I should have never let you guys get this close.
And what is that supposed to mean exactly? Because I do not believe that you actually mean what you just said. So tell me the truth.
Truth about what? Of course, I care about you, about Toby, about Levy, and of course I do, but I know better, and I should know better by now. That down the path of caring is nothing but disappointment and hurt.
You took that sword in order to protect us.
Yes.
Yes. What kind of path? What kind of disappointment?
Because now I can't.
You make it seem like caring is some kind of burden that you must give yourself 1,000 cuts in order to fulfill. Nobody is asking that of you. Just be you. You do not need to take on 1,000 worlds. You only ask that of yourself. You have nothing to prove to us. You are capable. You are worthy. Just like Tobias, you don't need to prove you have some kind of utility. Please. Let us protect you as you would protect us. As foolish as her techniques may be.
Of course I have something to prove. Don't you? Doesn't everyone?
Not to each other. You don't need to prove that to me. Forgive us, Demir. Please. Come on! Fuck off!
Demir just kind of looks at him and I don't know. I don't know how to face them if I'm not
Volk with the popcorn.
I don't know how to face them because I can face disappointment. I can face anger. I'm really good at both of those things. I don't know how to deal with pity. And I don't want to. I've done my best to make sure that no one will pity me.
Saphira, my love, they do not pity you. They love you. They fear for you. They care for you. If you are weak around them, it is because you choose to be open-hearted. You choose to let them see you and know you in a way that I've only barely begun to be allowed myself. And it is beautiful. They want to help you.
How do you know?
I can see it with mine own eyes. And I'm sure if you talk to them, they will say it with their own words.
You're not going to let me run away. Are you?
I will never leave you.
She kind of reaches out and puts her hand over his heart. I know. And that's why I can't lose you.
We can go talk to the wizards at the university. See if they have some other kind of tool.
They haven't been much help.
They have not. However, perhaps we have some social capital we may be able to cajole. We also, in our pursuit of poet, may come across a hag who may have more definite information. But I'm telling you now, no more deals with creatures outside of our ken. At least not without discussion. Please.
Okay.
Whatever happens to us, we will be together.
Okay.
Kind of takes her hand and kind of lifts to stand with her.
She stands.
And start walking generally back towards the house.
And I think that's where we'll call session for today.
God.
Bitch, what the fuck?
Is everyone okay?
I feel so
No.
sorry for Lars and by extension Valkyrja, because just every time she shows up, some shit goes down. It's not even her fault.
Volk has caused 2 player deaths, one by beholder, one by sword.
I'm sitting here with popcorn. I'm enjoying myself.
I know.
It has also
My
called.
losing my
if
shit
you think-
woke up my
and if you
kitten.
think about it, has also caused like 3 breakdowns, 2 of which were herself.
All right.
Valk is just like, I'm fucking cursed. This is why I don't have friends.
Oh my god.
What do you think is going through her mind right now?
guys,
Bro,
see
it's
if
fine.
you
Your
can
friends are all so fucked up.
engage
God.
in some self-care today.
Honestly, all this just proves that Volk is an honorary wild rose because she has just as much problems as literally every other party member.
Gosh, this was such a treat. I'm so glad to have
This
Valk
is
again.
so good. God.
I still love the
I
Chevron
could not write drama like this than myself. This is amazing.
I love the way Demir takes everything I fucking say and twists it.
Literally, like I said in the chat, Demir's is literally her own antagonist.
I'm going to dunk her in some ice water until she remembers how to people.
I feel like half of the entire chat for the last 15 minutes of Demir talking was all of us just being like, I'm going to shake you like a soda can.
That's an accurate description.
I created the sword like, hey, you know what? This might spawn some fun role play.
Oh, it did.
Yeah.
I hope you guys know that the dice that I rolled that natural one on is the Vervain dice. These guys.
God.
See,
3 plans.
I used the dice that the DM gave me, and that gave me a natty 20. So there's your fucking plus.
I need to use the hawk energy dice more, honestly. The dragon dice are great too, but yeah. Yeah, no,
Anyway, guys, thank you for playing.
this was a time.
Jamming.
I'm
Take
so
it
glad
easy
that we have this
for the
on
rest
Saturday.
of the day, if you can. And I'll see you next.